We're at the oyster capital of America, as I like to say, but also known as San Leon, Texas. So we're right here at Prestige Oysters, right at the mouth of Galveston Bay. We are the first oyster fishery in the Americas to achieve MSC certification. I think, at this day and age, we all need to be a little more practical in our sustainable efforts. And I think by sourcing MSC products, one can feel really great about consuming their seafoods when they see that MSC label. I'm Raz Halili, Vice President of Prestige Oysters. We're a family-run business here at Prestige Oysters. My parents started the business. My father was an immigrant, and he heard about work down in Louisiana on an oyster boat where you could make $25 a day. Jumped on an oyster boat, never been on an oyster boat, didn't know what an oyster was. He quickly saw that this was a job, this was something that he could build a career out of. So it's embedded in me, this company, and to see it grow over the course of the past few decades it's just been quite amazing, and to be a part of it is something that I'm very proud of.
All MSC fisheries are required to have sustainable stocks, that fishing practices do not harm the environment or other species, and that the fishery has good management in place. So Prestige takes that one step further. They actually replenish the environment. They do this by putting back shucked shells and rock into the ocean, and that replenishes the oyster beds.
Prestige Oysters has always, had sustainability at its core within our values of doing things, of recycling oyster shell, giving back and building reefs. As I stumbled upon the MSC and read about the organization, I thought it was a perfect match for us. It was, what I was searching for was something that could look at our fishery, look at what we're doing, and offer comfort to our consumers knowing that this is a third-party organization putting their stamp of approval on our sustainability efforts within our fishery. This is our standard oyster dredge that we use here at Prestige Oysters, and you want to think of that as a rake. And how we harvest oysters is similar to as you rake your leaves off the top of your lawn. You just want to get that top layer that's on the oyster reef. You want to be nice and gentle, and you're going to fish in a slow manner. The oysters will get dumped onto the table, and the crew here will sort through them, and they're going to search for only market-sized oysters. Everything else is going to go back out to the ocean floor. Really grow into a beautiful, mature oyster as they should. Oysters are a keystone species, so they're very vital to our ecosystem. Anywhere you find thriving oyster reefs, you're also going to find fish, shrimp, crab, and all sorts of other critters on the bottom floor. They're also our first point of protection from coastal erosion and also storm surges that come in through hurricanes and storms. Even if you're not an oyster consumer or don't know anything about oysters, they do play an important role in our ecosystem. They also filter our water. An oyster filters up to 25 gallons of water a day, so you're going to have that clean water environment where you have thriving oyster reefs.
So when consumers go to the grocery store and they see the bluefish label on a can of tuna or a package of frozen fish, that means that you're buying sustainable seafood.
It is definitely a passion of ours. These amazing creatures, they do not so much for the environment, but they're so versatile on a menu, and people enjoy them all around the world. We need to put our best foot forward for sustainability, and we're going to do everything in our power to continue the benefit of oyster ecosystems in our area and keep enjoying MSC certified Gulf oysters.